Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. I'm in my greenhouse looking around for something to work on. I have a project to work on, but I just can't get started on it. I just went out and looked at my 11 dawn redwoods that are going to go in my dawn redwood forest, and they're just starting to bud out. It's so exciting. Anyway, I did bring some trees into my greenhouse that I knew I was going to work on in the spring, and I think they're ready. Everyone that I've worked on so far has shown signs of root growth, which scares me a little, but I'm letting the top of the tree tell me what to do, and I'm hoping that the root work that I have to do at this time of year is okay. Today I'm going to be working on my cherry trio. I've always felt that it should be in a round pot, and I have a nice new round mica pot that looks perfect for it. These trees I want to get a little bit bigger. They are very feminine. They need to be in a round pot, and I need to change the orientation of them slightly. Let's get started. Here are the little ladies. They look great to me. When they start to leaf out, they get beautiful, beautiful green color. The leaves get a little ugly toward the end of the year, so I'm thinking of defoliating them mid-season and getting a second flush, because the color on the new growth is just beautiful. So this is the pot I purchased for them. Well, I purchased and I think is perfect for them. It's going to be a little big for those trees, but I want them to grow just a little bit bigger. I think it's a nice pot. I get my mica pots, or I have lately, at Weigert's Nursery, Weigerts. This is this particular pot. The reason I mention it is because I got an email from them indicating that their prices for mica pots are going up astronomically. And they showed their existing stock, and they still had some really good existing stock. So I'm thinking that if you like the idea of planting in mica like I do, because I want to be able to keep most of my trees outdoors in the winter, I'll protect them, but I don't want beautiful ceramics cracked. If you like mica, they had quite a good selection, and I think they deserve that plug. All right, I'm going to get started on taking it out of the pot. Well, let me give it a spin around for you. And there's the front. I'm going to mess with this just a little bit and get it in a nice new pot. One of my favorite tools, my grandfather's palette knife. And a smooth-sided plastic pot makes this quite enjoyable. You're not going to see many buds on these trees. I'll show you what there is. I'm trying to recall how long these trees have been in this pot. And when you're having trouble recalling, it's probably been too long. I'm encountering things which are probably roots. All right, let's see what this has been doing for the past, I don't know, 4 years maybe. The timing might be really good. It seems dry. I don't think there is any organic in this particular soil. Well, let's get in it and take a look. Some nice moss here. I love my moss. This will go over in my moss area. All right, back to it. Yeah, I've been watering this. I really don't know why it's so dry. I might have better luck with a chopstick. If you don't mind watching this in fast motion, I think I'm going to do that. I'm really, when I first started out here, I thought I was going to leave these trees meshed together, but they came apart so nicely, and I see that I can get a little bit more trees showing with a little bit of a root prune. So I separated them out, and we're going to start. This stuff going straight down is coming right off. All right. This tree can have way more of a slant. I'm going to cut that root off there. Because it was a little too high. This one's too high. This one's too high and doesn't do much. That's too long as well. There are some crossing roots. Actually, there's quite a few. This big one right here crosses under everything. You know, I'm gonna leave it. It's a deep enough pot. This guy will be coming out of the soil, but I think I can hold it down. All right, let me do a profile prune on this and get the next tree. I just want to point out, try and get close, and hope you can see that there are some white root tips, but there really isn't much in the way of bud swelling. They are swelling, believe me, but I would expect the buds to swell before I get white tips. So I'm a little concerned about what this might do, you know, to the tree's health. I'm hoping I don't need to be concerned. This root scoots down, but there's a root coming from it that can continue on. I'll just shorten that a bit. All right, this guy, I don't know. If I get rid of that, I've changed my root plane once again. And I'm losing too many roots, so I'm not going to do that. Taking off a couple of dead roots. I'm going to leave everything else. Yep. All right, back in the water. Next tree. Look at the roots. This you know, I've got a lot of trees outside, but I wanted to work on trees early. So I have some root growth, and I'm hoping that what I'm doing today ends up being okay. Look at that, nice flat. Comes to a big ball here. Again, this is kind of one-sided. I don't know, I grew these from little trees that started popping up in my garden. We had a cherry tree in the front garden when we moved in. It was pretty small, but it was there for years. Nobody ate the cherries. Birds did. But it must have been planted by the former owner, or it may have just grown there. It was in where their flower garden was. So anyway, these trees just would pop up everywhere from the birds spreading the seeds around. Now I'm trimming these things, these roots, kind of haphazardly now. And when I fit them into the pot, I'll be a little bit more careful. This one has a very interesting root that's going to just be above the surface. What does it do? Not much. Okay, it's going to come off. It's interesting though. It's gone. I'll clean that up. It's funny, there's that cherry smell. You know it when you smell it. All right, what else can I neaten up down here? That's dead, I'll take that out. Yes. I had viewers complain about this noise. They are 100% right. I'm looking for something to bond to this turntable, so I'm not doing this on glass. I hate the noise too. That goes up. Like a bamboo cutting board or something round. All right, I'm off to the thrift stores for that too. I have had absolutely no luck in thrift stores trying to feed this hobby. I hope more of you do or have had that kind of luck. Okay, last tree, and you can see that good, right? This tree's got some honking roots. Combing it out in the air so I don't make that noise. All right, first thing I see, and once again, making these cuts gives us a one-sided root system more than I'd like. So another good thing about this repot is that we're going to get the root system a little more tame. Every repot gives you that opportunity. So for those of you who are listening out there, that's really good advice. All right, I got another high root here. Too high. I'm going to pick up some space on this trunk for sure. These trees are going to dance nicely now. And in light of that, I think this whole knob has to come off. This is my cherry trio. It's a beautiful grouping. Just kind of grew up together in the yard. And I love that. I love that. This root goes up. There's another piece of it that goes down. I'll take that off. Piece that goes up, rather. Make sure I'm doing the right one. There we go. Simplifies that. Okay, now a little profile. Or should I? Yeah, I gotta deal with this big honker. There's a real clear spot where it goes downhill. And I'm going to cut it right there. Hate doing that. All right, now I'm going to profile prune it. I'm cutting off some good stuff. I'll try and minimize it. All right, I'm ready to pop these babies up. All right, so it wasn't fitting well. I had mentioned before that I'd have to prune the roots again. I tried it in this pot, but it just didn't look good. This pot is so much more masculine, and I have another tree in mind for this pot. So I pruned the roots up a little bit more, and I think I have a placement that I like, and I'm going to get started on that. I'll do this in fast motion, and then we'll come back and adjust the placement. Here's the placement, which was as good as I could get it. This was the tree that was in the center before. I'm going to probably have to work on this trunk a little bit, a little wiring on this trunk at some point. But right now I want them to just gel. This is the front I've picked for it. The feet, this lines up with the feet. You really can't see the feet, so I'm not certain if it matters. I mean, that a little off is okay too, but it does look good as it's being turned around all the way, and that was what I wanted. I have a long straight piece here that I don't like, and I may just have to bite the bullet and try to start some lower branching on that tree. That makes the whole composition a little weird, but it's a long-term project. And let me get this thing watered. This is some very dry aggregate here. I think I'm going to mix a little perlite into this. The white stones here are pumice. I have a very large planting coming up, and I think a little perlite in the mix might lighten it a bit. All right, I'll water it again in a couple minutes. And what do you think of the new shoes on my cherry trio? I'm going to put some stones on it. Some of these trees are in here. You know, they're okay when they take off, but I'll press it down a little bit and I'll put some stones on it if it needs it. That's all for today. My cherry trio has been resituated. I may change the front yet again, depending on what this tree gives me. But for right now, it's right about there. All right, thank you for keeping me company in my backyard.